Hey everyone, welcome back to Simply Scented Life. My name is Rachel and I have a Kringle candle 3-wick haul video for you guys today. Before I get started, I'm just going to say I do have my daughter homesick today, so if there is some background noise going on today, I apologize for that. She might be coughing, or if I have to stop here abruptly or anything like that, apologize in advance. I'm trying to kind of make sure I don't get too far behind in my content, so I'm trying to film anyway, but just so you know, that is going on, and hopefully everything will be okay. She's pretty good, but in today's video here, so you guys know, I'm going to be very honest here today. This was a sort of surprise Kringle release. If you have followed Kringle for a while, they had a similar release back in the spring where all of a sudden they just released, a ton of 3-wick candles, which has been a little confusing to people because they did announce that they were discontinuing their 3-wick candles, but these are not their typical 3-wick candles. Their typical 3-wick candle had like this printed on, like designer sort of label that printed all the way around the jar. These here today I'm going to show you are a little bit different. These are a little bit more primitive, I guess you could say, simplistic. They have just like these little sticker labels with colored wax. There is a variety of different lids here, and just kind of a little bit more basic in nature. And honestly, these kind of feel like bargain bin Kringles. These are cheap. They were 3 for $33, so you had to sort of buy in increments of 3, and which could be good. Like if you are looking to try Kringle, maybe you're on a budget, you don't want to have a huge investment. These are a nice way to try that. But I want to warn you, if you are trying Kringle for the first time with these candles, be aware that this is not their usual standard of anything. It's not their usual standard of fragrances. It's not their usual standard of packaging. I mean, these truly do have like a sort of bargain bin feeling about them. And I hate to, it sounds a little harsh, but you guys know, even though I'm an ambassador with them, I always give you my honest opinions. These do not feel like their normal quality level in the slightest. And I know that has been a big criticism that I have seen from you guys out there. And I get it. So I feel like you have to kind of go into this with the right mindset. Don't go into this expecting like the high level of Kringle that you might be used to. But if you're looking to pick something up and give something a try on the cheap, maybe you're looking for a little bit more variety. Maybe you're looking for something like, these are good to hold on for those surprise gifts that you didn't know you needed until the last minute, or office grab bags or things like that. There are some decent scents here. It's just, to me, this is not Kringle's level of, usual level of quality. And my theory is that they're really just trying to clear out their remaining inventory of 3-wick jars, maybe in a cost-effective way, since they announced that they were discontinuing those 3-wicks. I feel like it was slightly unexpected that I don't think they really planned on having to discontinue the 3-wicks so soon. Maybe because of sales. I feel like when people are shopping for 3-wicks, you're looking for more of that like Bath and Body Works sale pricing, which Kringle did have some good sales on their 3-wicks, but that wasn't like their constant price point. And the sales were a little bit more farther between than things like Bath and Body Works and Goose Creek. So I think like for the audience of those looking for those 3-wicks, maybe that was a little bit of a turnoff, and so maybe they didn't sell as well. But I've had really good luck with their burn performance. So, compared to those other brands, like these are 100% soy. These typically have burned better for me. So it just depends what you're looking for, but just kind of know that going into it. I have some highlights and lowlights. Honestly, this one here, Warm Banana Loaf, we'll talk a little more about it in a minute, but this is probably the star. We will kind of go through. I bought so many of them. I think the only ones I left out were some of the fall candles that they offered. There was like, I think 3 or 4 fall candles, and even though I'm not really over burning fall candles in my home right now, I'm kind of over buying them. I'm really shifting gears towards holiday focused or anytime scents, and that's what I went with here, was the Anytime Gourmands and the holiday stuff. So I got a good variety. There was 2 that I doubled up on, and yeah, we will just kind of go through them one by one. A few of them I have started burning. but most of them I have not. So I will just kind of give you some quick thoughts in case you're looking at them online. I know the Halloween candles just went on sale, 30% off. Everything except for the Boo Crew, those are not on sale yet. But like Halloween Part 1 and the Spellbound collection, those are 30% off. So maybe you're just looking for something to add on to your sales shopping cart. Let's we'll kind of go through these and maybe kind of give you guys the idea of which ones you might want to pick up and which ones you might want to avoid. And yeah, we'll kind of try to go through this a little bit quickly, but that's what we've got on deck for today. I think we'll start with the ones I consider to be sort of anytime gourmands, and then we'll go to the holiday ones after that, and I'll just kind of be grabbing them at random here. But the first one I grabbed is Berry Waffles, and this one's got, they used to have these on their three wicks, these lids, sort of like hammer tone metal. I like these ones. And this with the pink wax, and just kind of like basic sort of label here. But the notes here read waffles, strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, and whipped cream. And I mean, this I get a lot of strawberry, raspberry, definitely strawberry, raspberry forward to me with a little bit of blueberry in there. There is a little bit of a sweet sort of creaminess mixed in, but I really don't get any waffle note to speak of on cold. There's a couple here that I did start burning, and two of them like transformed a little bit. One of them not so much, but two of them really did transform a little bit. One of them, the notes like totally flip-flopped on me going from cold to warm. So like there is a chance that it'll pick up. Warming up the wax, I do get like a hint of a like waffle background, but it's mostly fruity to me and slightly sweet. Definitely a gourmand fruity, but I don't know. This one, it's not wowing me on cold, but it's not bad either. And if you are a fruity fan, this one might be worth picking up. But again, I just don't know. Depending how much waffle you're looking for, I'm not getting a lot of it. It's not at all to me like Berry Waffle Cone from Bath & Body Works. If you were thinking maybe it's similar. This smells very different to me. I think raspberry is probably the berry that I get here the most. Yeah, raspberry's hitting me. But yeah, definitely doesn't feel like Berry Waffle Cone. Trying to think what else I can compare it to. But yeah, I don't know. Not a bad scent. So this one I actually feel like I probably will save more for spring. Or like after the holidays, because it doesn't really like scream fall to me. Just more of a good anytime gourmand. But if you like have somebody that likes fruity scents, this might be like a good gift one because it's not really offensive. But yeah, that's Berry Waffles. Then next I have, all right, I grabbed French Toast. This one, yummy label, sort of a brown colored wax, and just a sort of plain lid here. This one I really do like on cold. This is probably one of my favorites, at least on cold. This one is warm maple, melted butter, vanilla, and spun sugar. And this is very maple forward, so definitely have to like maple to appreciate this one. It's sweet. It's definitely sweet, and I don't know if this will like be one of those ones that ends up being cloying when it's burning. So that's like my only sort of reservation about this one, and I haven't been able to burn it yet. But it is quite sweet, maple forward. One thing I noticed is that when I have like the lid on it, I don't know if the smell is coming from the lid itself, but it smells a little bit different to me when I smell it with the lid on it, where it almost has a slightly rum-like tone. Not like in a heavily boozy sort of way, but like something smells almost a little bit rum-like when I smell it like this, but like when I air it out, it smells a little bit more just straight like maple. And maybe that is a little bit of that melted butter note, because it's almost like that sort of like butter rum quality about it. But this is very rich, very gourmand. It doesn't really have like a true bakery note at all. And I mean, there's none listed here. The notes on all of these are pretty straightforward, and like there's not like a yeasty bready note or anything to this. It does have a little bit of that vanilla, so maybe that's where I'm getting a little bit it's almost like slightly bakery, but not like a full-blown true bakery note. The other thing I'm getting like a slight bit of, and it's not listed there, but like a hint of a bakery, like very tame, very slight cinnamon. And I don't know if, again, if this is just the power of suggestion or scent association, like I associate French toast with a cinnamon note, but it's not like a spicy scent, so I don't want to like deter you, but like there's something here that just almost like a little pinch of a bakery cinnamon to it. But it's nice. I think this will be like a good sort of Sunday morning. It definitely has that sort of Sunday morning breakfast maple kind of feeling about it. So this will be good. I will probably save this again for after the holidays, but that is French toast. Then we will grab, let's see, this is one that a lot of people I know were curious about. This is toasted cherry macaroons. And this one with pink wax, this I did burn. Plain lid on this one. This one, the notes sort of flip-flopped going from cold to warm. And again, just one burn, but it was a little surprising. The notes here are sugar, cherries, toasted coconut, and vanilla bean. And on cold, I felt like I really loved this one initially. It was like definitely a standout. I got a lot of the cherry on cold with a little bit of like that sweetness. It's not like a true... It's not like a true cookie note, but like a macaroon isn't really like a true cookie either. It's not like, it's a little different style cookie. Yes, it's a cookie, but it's not like your typical like cookie base. It's like made with coconut, I think like egg whites and things, and it's just a little bit different style. It's not like a heavy cookie. This is like bakery, and it felt like a little bit of cherry with a little bit of bakery, a little bit of sweetness with a very, very slight bit of coconut in the background. And then when I burned it, totally flip-flopped. The cherry just like went zoom, and the coconut came up here, and it was like more of a coconutty, slightly warm baked coconutty cookie-like scent with just a hint of cherry. And it was a little disappointing, if we're being honest, because I really actually liked the cherry note that I was getting on cold. It was fairly strong burning, but again, just one burn. But it did change quite a bit. And now when I smell it, I get a lot more of that sort of toasted coconut, golden browned, quality. But it does sort of feel pretty authentic to a macaroon. So it does have that going for it. The coconut does not feel beachy, sunscreeny, or even summery in any way. It just feels like a coconut macaroon. And the coconut here definitely being different than like, I think there was like a toasted coconut in, was it ice cream sandwiches? That is a different coconut entirely to me. This is very different. So, I mean, depending what you're looking for with this one, it might be worth the try, but it's unique. And it could kind of fall into, I guess, like that sort of holiday cookie category. So depending what you like to bake, what cookies you like. But, I mean, it does feel like a coconut macaroon. So a little disappointed just because I was really liking that cherry, but, not a total disappointment. And I will still burn this one. Although, again, might save this for later. Maybe more of a spring bakery scent for me. But that was toasted cherry macaroons. And let's see what else we've got. All right, I grabbed, this is the one that I said was probably the star of the show. This is warm banana loaf. And again, with this same sort of like brownish wax, very similar to French toast, I think. And again, plain lid. And this one is ripe banana, fresh baked bread, cinnamon, vanilla, and nutmeg. And this one I did confirm. This was like the first question when they told the ambassadors that these were coming out. I said, is this a repackage of the Country Candle banana bread? Because I know a lot of people love that one, and I knew that question was coming, and sure enough, that was the first question I saw. Is this the same as the Country Candle version? Yes, I'm told it is the same. I did not have that one. I wish I had it so that I could really, truly compare tit for tat, but I mean, this is really good. This is definitely what I feel like is the most probably well-rounded fragrance here that I'm getting. This is nice, and I don't know exactly why I passed on the original, the country version. I think it was one of those things where I'm really kind of picky with banana, and I really didn't love their take on, was it Bananas Foster? I didn't love that one, so it kind of made me a little bit nervous about trying another banana. It's just, for me, I think I waited too long, and it went on sale, but then it sold out before I can get to it. So I missed the boat on banana bread, but this one I said I'm definitely trying it this time. For that price point, why not? And I'm glad I did, because it's definitely the star here. This definitely feels like a true banana bread sort of fragrance, where the banana is very ripe. It has that sort of like cakey, bready quality about it, like that bakery sort of quality to it, with that banana kind of baking in, with that with the spices here being very mellow. The banana is definitely the forefront to me, and like no nuttiness or anything extra, just like straightforward banana bread. And if that's what you're looking for, like, this smells excellent. I have not burned it yet. Hopefully it will perform well. I know the country version was known to perform well, so I'm hoping, this being a 3-wick, that will have no problems. But this one, if I were to get backups of anything, this would definitely be on the list. So maybe if I'm shopping one day and I need to throw something extra in my cart, if this one's still available, this is probably the first one I would go for out of all of these. But yeah, I like this, and I definitely see what all the fuss is about now with banana bread, and I'm kind of sad that I never tried it in the bigger jar, but this is pretty good. All right, so now we're getting into some of the holiday ones, and this is one of the ones, again, that I know a lot of people are kind of curious about, and it's also one of the ones that I have started burning, and it's one of the ones I've grabbed 2 of. So I've got 2 of these. This is Bûche De Noel, and this is kind of like the classic Yule log cake, or their version of a Yule log cake scent. Got brown wax here, and guys, if you see this in your candles, don't worry about it. This is just kind of natural with soy wax. It's just purely cosmetic. There's nothing wrong with it. It won't, affect your burn or anything like that. Some of these do have it more than others. You can kind of see it more on certain wax colors more than others. But if you notice it, it's not a big deal. This one has a kind of black lid. And so I guess we'll kind of work with, I burned this one for a little bit yesterday, and I'll work with the one here that I haven't burned. But this one, we've got notes of cinnamon sugar, cocoa, gingerbread, melted butter, and vanilla bean. And this one, on paper, I was probably the most intrigued by this one, because it just sounds like one of those scents that is like, this is unique kind of combination here. I liked the little bit of packaging here. It sounded like it had the potential to be a great scent, so that was why I grabbed 2. In hindsight, I probably should have just grabbed 1. I like it, but I don't love it. Like, it's not awful, but it's just not living up to my expectations, so to speak. On cold, it's kind of hard to read. It is very light on cold. It's funny, because I think the note that I get the most is melted butter, and it really distinctly smells like warm butter. I get a little of the cinnamon here, but it's not like a heavily spicy candle. I get a hint of the cocoa, but it's not like a heavily chocolate candle. Like, you might see this and think this is going to be like really chocolatey, and it's not a really chocolatey scent. I do get a little of gingerbread here, but definitely the butter. And this one, when I burned it, like, it didn't have a huge transformation. It wasn't as drastic as the toasted cherry macaroon, or whatever that was called. It wasn't as drastic of a change as that one, but like, it didn't really like come alive either, so to speak. There's a little creaminess here with the vanilla. Honestly, and I only did 1 burn. It was light. Definitely the lightest of all the ones that I burned so far. I still have a lot more to go through, so, take that with a grain of salt. But when I was burning it, like, it just wasn't coming together with all these notes. And these are like some heavy notes, like cinnamon sugar, cocoa, gingerbread. Like, I was expecting like something to have a little bit more punch, and it just is not having a nice punch. It's not having a wow factor. honestly, the closest thing I could like say this smells like is if you were taking like really softened, almost slightly warm butter, like if you wanted to bake and you needed a softened butter and you just stuck it in the microwave instead of letting it sit on the counter for time's sake, like you get that sort of like in between phase where maybe it's like a little partially melted, a little bit warm and soft. Like if you were to take that and kind of whip it with a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of brown sugar, like this has like that sort of whipping butter smell. If you're a baker, maybe you know what I'm talking about. Like it's really odd. It does feel like slightly creamy, so maybe like in terms of like the Yule log here, it's really more the like that creamy filling rather than like the cakey part. Like there's nothing cakey here to me. And I think the brown sugar piece might be coming from that gingerbread note, like in the molasses sort of way with mixing with the cinnamon sugar. But I don't know, it's odd and it's very hard to describe. But like, I don't know, maybe if you were using some sort of butter filling to like whip up this dessert filling here, like with some cinnamon sugar in it, maybe a little dusting of cocoa powder, because I do get like a hint of it, especially when it was burning, just like a hint of a cocoa, but not like a full-blown chocolate scent. There is a full-blown chocolate scent here if that's what you're looking for, but this is not it. It's just really different. So I will say it does have like the unique factor going for it, because I definitely don't have anything else like it in my collection. So this is one of those ones, like, you know, if you're curious enough and you're having to put 3 together and you're having a hard time, maybe throw this one in, but like, it's just not wowing me. I shouldn't have gotten 2, but I'm glad I got 1 just to kind of satisfy that curiosity at this price point. But yeah, I mean, it's really strange. Now, I'm not a big like Yule log cake person. Like that's not something we've had traditionally in our house. So maybe like if that resonates with you, you might like this a little bit better. But for me, this is just kind of okay. Should have been 1 and done. I guess we'll be 2 and done. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Bûche De Noel. And the other one that I grabbed 2 of, Christmas Treats. And this one, again, I burned this one, another one that I had sampled, kind of similar wax color to some of these other ones. This one's a little bit more brown than the, I think the French toast in that, but this has sort of a plain gold lid, and this one has notes of fried pastry, cinnamon, and brown sugar. So this one and another one here that we'll talk about later, like this feels almost like a watered down version of the Country Candle limited edition holiday churro from last year, if you had that one. And I mean, when you look at the notes, it kind of makes sense. Fried pastry, cinnamon, and brown sugar sounds somewhat churro-like to me, and that was kind of what I was banking on, that it would have some similarities, because even though the only one that they confirmed for me as being the same as that limited edition country was banana bread, I was hoping like if there's a chance that this is similar to holiday churro, which I loved, I'll be all about it, especially as a 3-wick. So I do feel like it has some similarities to it, but this feels like a more watered down version of that. Holiday churro had like the nicest like donut-y pastry note, and this doesn't have that. There is a fried element here, and I will say going from cold to warm, like that fried element really picked up. Like this definitely had that sort of fried pastry quality about it. I'm just not getting a whole lot of the actual pastry inside. It's more like that outside, that crusted up kind of like crunchy fried outer coating mixed with a little bit of cinnamon. Definitely a little bit of brown sugar kind of adding to that richness to it, but it's not overly spicy. Honestly, this maybe is slightly more authentic to a churro than holiday churro was, if you were looking for that, just in that fried element alone. Personally, I mean, so this is my second jar. Personally, I really loved the like donut piece of that holiday churro. So this one's kind of like a little more underwhelming. And honestly, after a while, I burned this for a while. I don't know if you can see my little pool here. I had to put it out just because that fried note was just becoming a little bit heavy for me. So this is something that I will probably pair up with with something else, maybe that candle to balance it out, or even any other donut fragrance or other bakery thing where you just want to add like a little bit more. Like this was pretty strong, I will say. Definitely stronger than Bûche De Noel, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make me think of a Christmas treat. So I'm not really sure packaging wise. Like I feel like they could have just gone some sort of fried pastry note with this, but or fried pastry concept with this, but not necessarily a Christmas treat. So I don't know. I don't hate it. Again, probably not something I necessarily needed two of, but I took a chance. And I mean, it's not the worst thing. Like, it's not like offensive. I don't know. Maybe you could stick this as like a grab bag gift. But yeah, I mean, it's not wowing me either. But you know, strength was good. So if you're looking for that, you might really enjoy this one. But that is Christmas treats. All right, we're going to switch gears here a little bit now. This is Santa's on His Way. Another holiday one, but this one's not gourmand. This one, really nice bright red wax and black lid. And this one, the label is really similar. I think it was called, was it 'Twas the Night? They have one in the country line with a similar sort of label. Really cute there. I just wish it was like maybe like a full picture of that rather than with the words on the side. But again, for the price, I'm not going to complain. It's also a little bit scuffed up here. Like, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but like, just like not their usual quality. But this one has notes of fresh pine, bergamot, orange, and musk. So like, this is really the only tree scent that they came out with in this collection, which I'm kind of surprised they didn't just do like a straight classic Christmas tree scent. I thought that would probably be really popular, but this is a little bit like that, but it's got a little bit more to it. This is a little musky with that, especially with that bergamot in there as well. It almost has like a little bit of a, not a cologne, full-blown cologne lean, but a slightly masculine lean. So if you're sensitive to that, you might not like this one. The orange here, I get it. It's a little subdued. It's not like a huge thing of orange. It's more, I feel like I'm getting more of that citrus tone from the bergamot than the orange itself. But I do definitely get pine, and it does have that sort of Christmas tree feeling about it. I would just prefer a little less musk, I think. But we'll see how this does burning. I don't want to put the cart before the horse and like rule it out completely. But yeah, it's just a little more like masculine like than I would like on cold. So I don't know. I will still burn it, and you know, we'll see how this goes. But yeah, that's Santa's on His Way. And then there's one more that is sort of not gourmand, but they put it with a gourmand packaging. So I guess we'll do this one next. This one's kind of a head scratcher for me. This is mint cookies. And I mean, cute label here, like almost like those little thin mint looking cookies. Pretty light blue wax, again with the black lid. This one has notes of peppermint, vanilla bean, fresh snow, and cedarwood. And I just, mint cookies, like nothing about this says cookie to me. And it's not a bad scent. It's just not cookies. And I just don't understand why you call it cookies when it's not cookies, because like there's a part here that is sort of edible, like gourmandish with the peppermint and the vanilla bean. But then you also have the snow and like that cedarwood note. And this feels almost more of a sort of like fresh, like an outdoorsy peppermint rather than a like cookie peppermint. I don't know. Maybe this will change burning and I'll have to kind of, you know, eat my words here. But like, I don't know. It doesn't make me think cookies. I definitely get a little bit of that cedarwood in the background. It's not like heavily wooded, but like it's in the background and it kind of takes away some of that edible tone to me. Maybe that's just my opinion. I don't know. It's not bad. Like I don't want to take away from it. Like it's a nice sort of different peppermint scent. It's not smack you in the face peppermint. It's a little bit more subdued. You definitely have a little bit of vanilla mellowing it out, and with that sort of like snowy quality, there's something cool there as well. Kind of combining with the peppermint just to make it feel really fresh and pleasant. It's sort of like one of those nice, like the snow is falling kind of days candles. But yeah, it just doesn't smell anything cookie-like. So if you're just kind of not paying attention and looking at the packaging and the name and thinking you're going to get like a mint cookie scent, you might be disappointed. But I mean, for what it is, it's not bad. And I'll definitely still burn it. And I mean, if it ends up being a really nice burn, because I love peppermint scents, I wouldn't be opposed to picking up another one. But yeah, the concept here for me is just sort of a head scratcher. All right, I've got two more. They're both gourmands, like holiday gourmands, and they both have some promise here. So we will start with Holiday Fudge. Really yummy looking label there, picture. Nice red wax again. This I have not burned. Black lid again. This is notes of chocolate fudge, marshmallow cream, vanilla, and powdered sugar. And this, like if you're looking for chocolate, this is like the most chocolate. This is nice. It almost feels like it's definitely got a fudgy quality. The fudgy quality itself reminds me a little bit of the fudge note in Trick or Treat from Halloween this year, but like it's not like the same scent. It's not a dupe, don't get me wrong, but like just that fudge piece, it's almost like if you kept that fudge, you took out the caramel in Trick or Treat, you took out the walnut liqueur and all that like extra stuff. If you just wanted like a straightforward sort of fudgy scent, this is actually pretty nice. I'm not getting any sort of funkiness from this chocolate note either. I don't know if it will change burning. Maybe because of the marshmallow and the vanilla in there, like it kind of tames the chocolate a little bit, if you will. But I mean, it does kind of feel reminiscent of this packaging. This one I do feel like is a great match scent and concept, but sort of a rich chocolatiness with a swirl of marshmallowy tone to it, a marshmallowy vanilla sort of tone. But I like this. It does have a little bit of that like holiday feeling. So this one I actually might burn in Christmas time. It doesn't feel overly like artificial. I feel like I even on cold, I like this better than Kringle's hot chocolate scent. I haven't really spent a lot of time with that one, but that one almost felt a little bit too like artificially cocoa to me on cold, and this on cold feels like a little bit richer, a little bit more gourmand goodness. So I like it on cold, and I'm not a huge chocolate candle person. I almost didn't grab it because I'm kind of over all the chocolate scents, but I almost felt like how could I leave it out at this point? I've gotten everything else. The only thing I skipped was the fall ones. But yeah, that's Holiday Fudge. So I feel like probably not a bad choice if you're looking for something chocolatey. Also not a bad gift option. I know chocolate can be hit or miss with people, but if you're looking for just like a sort of safe, like easy gift, this might be a good one. But that is Holiday Fudge. And then last but not least, this is another one of my favorites. Again, I haven't been able to burn it, so don't want to speak too soon, but this is Candy Cane Mocha. And this one again with a sort of pretty like hammered style lid, pink wax on this one. And this one has notes of peppermint, vanilla milkshake, cocoa, and honey, which this one kind of similarly to how I said, what was it? The Christmas treats almost felt like a watered down, redacted version of Holiday Churro from the limited edition line. This almost feels like a slightly watered down version of Dreaming of Christmas from last year. That was a mint scent with a little bit of chocolate in there, so maybe that's why that's feeling somewhat familiar to me. I absolutely loved Dreaming of Christmas. I didn't feel like the chocolate in it was overwhelming. I feel like I got a whole lot of the mint with it. This I feel kind of similarly, where there is some chocolate here, but it's still very minty and fresh. It feels different to me than peppermint and cocoa from the country line. That I feel like I get more of the cocoa, like a true like cocoa note. This feels more peppermint and like cocoa to the background. It's not as intensely cocoa to me, and I like that about it because I really like the mint. I don't get honey per se, but it's sweet. The vanilla milkshake component here makes it kind of creamy. But yeah, it does remind me a little bit of Dreaming of Christmas, just like in a sort of like pulled back way, so to speak. So if you liked that one, this is probably a pretty safe choice. Also another like pretty good like giftable candle that's fairly safe. Most people, you know, like a peppermint cocoa sort of concept. They say mocha. It doesn't really have like a coffee tone to me, so like don't let that put you off. Definitely more peppermint chocolatey versus peppermint cocoa and coffee. But I like this one. So this is one, again, if I end up going back for any, it will probably be the warm banana loaf. Maybe this one, depending how it does burning. Maybe the mint cookies if I like it burning. And, you know, potentially holiday fudge, depending on how this goes with them. But yeah, those are my like early thoughts, some mixture of cold and post burn, and I don't know. Just I figured I would throw this out there with you in case you're doing some shopping this weekend and looking for some extra sale stuff to throw in your cart. Those are my feelings on those. And again, I hope that helped. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. This video felt a little bit rushed, but I just didn't want to spend too much time on these because they're kind of straightforward. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I do try to get back to everybody eventually, especially if you have a question in there. I will definitely try to make sure I address that. And that's all I've got for today, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.